Blog Talk Radio.
Hey there, Detroit sports fanatics. I'm Taylor Phillips, and welcome to Taylor's Detroit Sports Show on Blog Talk Radio. It is Sunday, January 18th, 2015 at 11 o'clock. Red Wings just pulling out a 6-4 win at home against the Buffalo Sabres. Henrik Zetterberg, their captain, scoring a hat trick. All three goals coming in the third period. Three's kind of wild there. Sabres jumped out to a 3-0 lead, chasing Peter Mrazek early. He started back-to-back games when Mike Babcock should have started Thomas McCollum. And Thomas McCollum came in better late than never, only to allow only one goal. McCollum actually was the winning goaltender. Gustav Nyquist put the Wings on the board in the second period. Then Drew Miller. Nyquist's goal was on the power play. Drew Miller made it 3-2. 3:07 later, and then Tomas Tatar tied it at 3. 6:01 later, after Miller's goal. His goal was unassisted. Yep, just want to make sure I'm right. Let's see here. Gonna try to figure out the 3 stars of the game here. But I had a comment here on something here. McCollum got his first NHL goaltending win. And the Red Wings are on pace for a 109-point season. It looks as if the Red Wings are on the chase for the President's Trophy in 2015. The way they're playing right now, the way they're just coming back. They're just finding more ways to win. Many more ways to win than they have the past 5 seasons. The last 5 seasons before this. This is a much better Red Wings team. Except Jonathan Ericsson is a slop artist. A total slop artist. The Wings should trade Jonathan Ericsson to another team for either Tyler Myers, Keith Yandel, or Ryan Suter. Tyler Ennis scored 2 goals for Buffalo. The Red Wings are awaiting the Minnesota Wild on Tuesday, the day after Martin Luther King Jr. Day, which is tomorrow, Monday. Hopefully they can before the game, the Wings trying to get the stats here. NHL.com. What do you know? The box score just appeared. The box score link just appeared. Tomas Tatar got a goal and an assist. Pavel Datsyuk only got an assist. Danny DeKeyser with 2 assists. Henrik Zetterberg also got an assist along with his hat trick. Gustav Nyquist got a goal and an assist. Justin Abdelkader picked up an assist. Nicholas Kronwall got one as well, an assist. And so did Kyle Quincy. That pretty much covers it. Yeah, McCollum only faced 8 shots on net and stopped 7 of them. The other one, McCollum thought he should have had. Would like back. But he only allowed the 1 goal and still got his first NHL win. Jonas Enroth allowed 6 goals and took the loss. The Red Wings are now tied with the New York Islanders for 2nd place in the Eastern Conference with 61 points, 1 point behind the Tampa Bay Lightning. Three points behind the Predators, and 5 points behind the Anaheim Ducks, who have 66 points. The Predators have 64. Again, Henrik Zetterberg's all three Zetterberg goals came in the 3rd period. The upcoming game against the Minnesota Wild wraps up the Red Wings 3-game homestand before the NHL All-Star break. Then they are in Florida January 27th against the Panthers. A 2-game state of Florida trip. They play the Tampa Bay Lightning at the St. Pete Times Forum Thursday. Both games are at 7:30. Then they return home Saturday, January 31st, against the New York Islanders at 2 o'clock on Fox Sports Detroit. You can listen to my podcast and watch NHL Overtime on NBCSN at the same time, just to help you kind of multitask as a knowledgeable hockey fan. If the Wings want to become a more flawless team, they've got to get rid of Jonathan Ericsson. Either trade him or waive him, doesn't matter. Ericsson can't do anything right. He does a lot of things wrong on the ice. Turns the puck over, plays inconsistently, commits too many stupid penalties. Doesn't score goals. He only got one. He only has 7 assists. Plays even worse than Brendan Smith and Jakob Kindl. He's the odd guy out. Let's shift over to the Pistons now. Had an extremely rough game against the New Orleans Pelicans on Wednesday. But then they won their next two. First off, they beat the Raptors 114-111. Then they came back to the Palace and lost 105-94 to the Pelicans. Then they went to Indiana and nipped the Pacers 98-96 on the road. Then they returned home to the Palace and got their revenge on the Philadelphia 76ers, 107-89. If you keep counting wins and games altogether since they waived Josh Smith, they've won 11 out of their last 13 since that point. Pistons play tomorrow afternoon in a special matinee game, January 19th, a legal holiday, which is known as Martin Luther King Jr. Day, as I mentioned before. They're playing in Atlanta against the Hawks at 2:30 p.m. on ESPN and on Detroit Sports 105.1, WMGC FM HD1 in Ferndale. Via Royal Oak in the greater Detroit area. And on the Detroit Sports 105.1 mobile app, and on DetroitSports1051.com, and on TuneIn Radio on Detroit Sports 105.1. Hawks beat the Pistons 106-103 in their last meeting at the Palace. Hawks are now 33-8. The Pistons have climbed up to 16-25, about a game and a half behind the 8th spot where the Miami Heat are. Then on Wednesday, the Pistons returned home to take on the Orlando Magic, who are 15-28. And then they hit the road for two in Milwaukee and Toronto Saturday and Sunday at 7:30 and 7 p.m. Bucks are 21-19. The Raptors are 26-13. Pistons beat the Raptors in their last meeting in Toronto, 114-111, as I mentioned before. This should be another thriller. The Pistons Magic game should be an easy one for the Pistons, but two good games after that on the road. Should be two tense dramas there. Then on the 27th, on Tuesday, the 27th, they return home to take on LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Pistons routed the Cavaliers 109-83 at Quicken Loans Arena in Cleveland in their last meeting. Four weeks ago. And that covers all Pistons here. Let me see here. The Wolverines got destroyed in Columbus, but then they returned home to nip the Northwestern Wildcats 56-54 at Chrysler Center. But they also lost Karis LeVert to an injury which put him out for the season. With a fractured foot, he will have surgery. According to MLive.com, Karis LeVert will miss the remainder of the 2014-2015 season. With not just a foot injury, a fractured foot. But there is one guy on this Wolverines basketball team that has chipped in and filled in LeVert's shoes, That is freshman Muhammad Ali Abdur-Rahman. With just under 1 minute remaining and Michigan clinging to a 1-point lead, Michigan freshman Muhammad Ali Abdur-Rahman found himself standing at the 3-point line. He stood watching as teammate Karis LeVert drove from the wing to the baseline and underneath the basket. Visiting Northwestern, as it should have, focused on its defensive eyes on LeVert. He already scored 18 points and had taken 19 shots. He's the Wolverines' pulse. Then, though, LeVert whipped the ball out Abdur-Rahman's waiting hands. Abdur-Rahman hit a game-winning shot, a game-winning three. To put Michigan in ahead for good. Rahman finished 16.7% shooting from the field, 3 for 18. Abdur-Rahman finished with 32 points. No, wait. No, he did not. That was 32 points combined by LeVert and Derek Walton. Abdur-Rahman finished with 9 points on 4 of 7 shooting on Friday. Got 5 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 steal, and 1 very big three-pointer in 26 minutes played. That was Saturday, not Friday. That's a big mistake by Brendan F. Quinn right there. Michigan State got crushed 75-59 at Maryland. The Terrapins were ranked 14th in the nation, I think. Let me go to the Score mobile app. Yeah, they were 14th. By the way, Oakland beat Albion's 83-68 earlier tonight. Akron beat Central Michigan 82-76. Western Michigan beat Toledo in overtime 81-78. Detroit Mercy lost to Green Bay 70-64. And Eastern Michigan beat Northern Illinois 54-46. The Wolverines play at Rutgers at 6:30 on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, the Spartans play host to the Penn State Nittany Lions at 7. CMU hosts Buffalo at 7. Eastern Michigan visits Bowling Green at 7. Western visits Miami, Ohio at 7. Oakland hosts Milwaukee on Thursday at 7. Detroit Mercy plays Cleveland State, the Vikings in Cleveland at 7. Then Akron and Western at 2 on Saturday. Eastern and Central at 4:30. MSU and Nebraska at 5:30. Wisconsin at Michigan at 7. The Badgers are ranked 7th in the nation. That rounds it up. Quickly moving on to the Tigers here. They avoided arbitration with David Price by signing him to a one-year $19.75 million contract, which he'll be a free agent after the 2015 regular season, MLB regular season. However, starting pitcher Max Scherzer has been in talks with the Nationals on a 7-year deal. He was also in talks with other teams, precisely one other team, but we don't know who that team or who those teams were. A year ago, he rejected a 6-year, $144 million extension offer. So that leaves Alfredo Simon in the starting pitching rotation with Price, Verlander, Sanchez, and Shane Green. But if Scherzer were to stay with Price and if they were about to get James Shields as well, they would move Alfredo Simon to the bullpen and maybe Shane Green as well. But if Scherzer goes to the Nationals and the Tigers pick up James Shields, then it would be just Alfredo Simon going to the bullpen, because he's not a good starter. It would be Scherzer, Sanchez, Price, Green, and Shields. Shields, Price, Sanchez, Green, and Verlander. Shields, Sanchez, Price, Green, and Verlander, with Simon in the bullpen. So, time's running out. I'm going to have to wrap this up. So that's going to do it for Taylor's Detroit Sports Show on Blog Talk Radio. I'll be back either later this week or next week on Spreaker, and then back here Sunday at 11 on Blog Talk Radio. TTFN, ta-ta for now.